Hello everyone, it's Erin Floto here, and I'm here in a weird spot. Sorry in advance. This is the only quiet place in my house right now. So I am going to be talking about low spending with you today. So, I don't know if you have seen this on TikTok, YouTube, all that other stuff, but there has been this trend of people saying, "Oh, I'm doing a low spend." And since we just had a baby, we're still paying, well, we finished paying off my husband's surgery, and we bought a garage last year, and we had a wedding, and we went down to Florida. Lots of money went out the window last year. So we are doing a low spend for 2025. And I kind of want to talk about what a low spend is before I go into the things that I am doing for a low spend. So most people have heard of like a no spend or a no buy or something to that effect. And that's really where you like go down to the nitty gritty. You are only paying for things that are essential. Your rent, your mortgage, your car payments, your gas, your groceries, things like that. You are not spending any extra money at all, right? You are only spending on essential items. So a low spend is kind of the same vein, except for you're setting parameters on what you're spending. So you're not only spending the essentials, but you are making a concerted effort for certain things to be removed from your spending categories. And or you are making limitations on yourself for how often you can spend and things like that. So we're doing all of 2025. That's the goal, at least. Because again, we're trying to pay off some medical expenses, trying to save money for the house. And now we have a little interruption. Okay, now that he is fed and happy, I forgot everything that I was talking about. Let's get back to it. So basically, you are not spending as much, right? But you're not limiting to bare bones. Let's do nothing at all. So let's talk about low spending. So my low spend has a few different areas. So I have my handy dandy planner. So my low spend, I put for my overall purpose, save money to help pay off medical debts from surgery and baby, then save towards the rainy day / home improvement funds. So again, my job's a little odd right now. So we definitely need to save as much money as possible. And I think getting other stuff paid off will help that. So that's generally the purpose. So the overall general umbrella idea of my no spend is replacements only. So we're not buying new stuff. We're not buying new things for no purpose. If there is a purpose for them, that's up in the air, right? But in general, we are living by the replacements only rule. So we have a couple things that are absolutely no. Absolutely no. This is the traditional no buy. Not at all. We're not doing new books, which I will preface that by saying I do still have Audible on pause, but I have 7 credits. So if I'm getting new books, it is a book that I pre-ordered, aka Onyx Storm. I pre-ordered that back in March 2024 before I even made this list. So that money was gone out of my head already. And then 2, I have 7 credits on Audible. So when the new Hunger Games comes out, I'm getting it. But I will be using my credits, so things I had already paid for. But no new physical books, no new audiobooks outside of those 7 credits, no new books at all. No decor for the house. We have so much decor for the house. I love pretty things. I love making my house pretty. It is a problem that I have. But we're not doing any new decor for the house. We have plenty of decor for the house. So even if it's a little tiny $3 thing, I don't need it. I don't have space for it. I have all this clutter for no reason whatsoever. I'm trying to get rid of all my clutter. I got rid of my rainbow shelves. So there's no point for me to get decor for the house. And then 3 is no Marshalls and Michaels. So that is where I find a lot of decor items, or like little trinkets, or little little things, right? That kind of go with the whole idea of decor for the house, and or clothing, which clothing we'll get to. And then number 4, technically speaking, is no nails, but I haven't been doing that for basically a year anyways. So I didn't feel the need to put that on my absolutely not list, because for me, I haven't been doing it for a year. So it feels pretty much out of my habit, routine type of thing. So that is the absolutely no list. No new baby clothes or toys, except for the special occasions. I will not take that joy away from myself, my husband, and my baby to have him open a present in November for his birthday, right? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I will not do that for Christmas. That doesn't make sense to me, especially because he will be 1 year old. He can actually understand that he's getting a new thing by that point. Like, right now, doesn't matter. And we have a lot of hand-me-down toys and things like that, but I find no issues with us not getting clothing or toys except for the special occasions. And especially, like I said, toys, we have a million hand-me-downs. Clothes, we have a million hand-me-downs. And we were so fortunate of people giving us so many clothes during our baby shower. And even the grandparents now are just, they constantly bring over clothes. So that's the idea. No new baby stuff. But it's also cute. But we have enough. No buying items just because there's a good deal or sale. I, in particular, have been in trouble with this because I'm like, man, if I'm getting it 50 to 70% off, that is such a good deal. I will say that things that we do need, like diapers and things like that, we will be getting when there's a good deal or sale. But those are items, again, that we need, not want. And that, again, is the idea. Replacements only, needs, not wants. Do bottle can and deposits whenever possible. So for those that aren't in a state where they take money from you because it is a bottle or a can, basically for every can, it's like 5 cents. So then when you deposit it back at a bottle depot or at a grocery store or something like that, then you get the 5 cents back. So you have to deposit it, and then you take the receipt up to the counter, and then you can get money from that receipt. We put whenever possible because we don't have a bottle depot by us, so it is really inconvenience. But it does feel like we're recycling away all of our, like, a bunch of money. But there's also a really annoying thing that if you do it at a store, then it has to be things that that store sells. And I hate that because I'm not going to 8 different stores to be able to do it. And then we order from Poland Spring, who you can't do a bottle depot with, and they have different sizes of everything that they don't sell in any stores. And then there's BJ's, which only sells certain kinds of products in certain stores. It's very annoying. So we're putting whenever possible. And then we did talk to my mother-in-law, who said, if you want me to bring a bag of cans back because she's been visiting every weekend, I can do that, and then I can Venmo you the money. So we might do that as well because she has a bottle depot literally around the corner from her house, and we're not leaving this area anytime soon. So we might look at that. And thank you, Sandra, for offering for that. The next one is meal planning before going grocery shopping. So, and these aren't like categories necessarily, but it's like, how can we limit spending? So if we meal plan before we go grocery shopping, we're not getting extra stuff. So far, we have not been great at that because we're tired because we have an 8-week-old. So we're very, very tired. So I think this is probably going to be more once we kind of get a handle on the whole routine thing, and he's in a little bit more of a routine, I think we'll be able to do a little bit more. But we have kind of started. I bought this stuff to do, to prep breakfast, so that way I can just heat it up. So I think that's the idea. So we're going to do a lot more meal prepping to try to save money on groceries. The next one is review clothing every 6 months. So we already do this. We have a pretty good habit of doing this. But the idea is if you go through your clothes every 6 months, you know what you have, and then we will either throw it away, or if it's a solid item that we can sell, maybe we'll try selling it. But mostly we just donate. So if it's in good condition, so we'll donate. And then the items that we donate, that's where I'm saying replacements only. So if my husband gets rid of 10 shirts that he was routinely wearing, but they either don't fit him anymore, they have stains on them, or something to that effect, we can't go without clothing. So we will replace those items. So it would basically be every 2 years, 2 times a year to be able to do that. And then the last one is a gift giving budget. So for us, we, I think giving gifts is kind of our love language. So we have a really hard time with that. So we need to set limits for when, especially when we're giving each other gifts, because it's not like it's going to someone. We're spending the money on ourselves, essentially. And that's kind of against the idea of a no spend. So we want to set a budget for gifts for the year. So whatever he is getting for his birthday, that's what I'm getting for my birthday, right? Like that is the limit, the monetary limit that we're going to set. And then I do have 3 notes here that need some clarification. So one is that if we are giving gift cards, they can be used for fun money, because that is not anything that we expected. So of course we can use those gift cards for fun money. For example, I just got a gift card to Bath and Body Works for Christmas. Well, first of all, that only works at a fun place, Bath and Body Works, which is a non-essential item, really. So we will be spending that there. If we get Amazon gift cards, we can spend that on fun money. So that's kind of the idea. It wasn't anticipated, so we can spend that on want items, not need items. And if we want to spend it on need items, we can spend it on need items. The other note is that our businesses can't spend more than they are bringing in. There is an exception with his certificates, because he needs the certificates for work and for his business. He has to renew his certifications for personal training. So there's an exception there. But overall, your businesses can't spend more than they are bringing in. And because our businesses aren't like some flourishing like Fortune 500 or anything, we're totally cool with it being like, basically reaching back to baseline. That's fine with us. Because for him, he's investing in his news business. He just made it this past year. So he's investing, but we want to make sure that we're investing in a smart way and not overspending in that way. And then the last note is that if we go to a Nike clearance store, purchases are within a set budget. My husband used to work for Nike, and he still gets the employee discount because he worked there for over 5 years. So we do love Nike shoes. And we stock up. So the only time that we are anticipating going to a Nike clearance store this year is if we get down to Florida. Hopefully we can. If we can get down to Florida, we are planning probably to go to a Nike clearance store, and then we probably will be stocking up on shoes. So the idea there is, as long as we set a budget and we stick within that budget, we're good. Because 1, it's on clearance. 2, he gets his employee discount on top of that, which I think is like 30%. So clearance and 30%, I'm in. and we stock up on shoes. And again, it kind of goes with the replacements only. By that time, we will absolutely be worn through our shoes. So it makes sense that we would need to be replacing them anyways. So those are the caveats. Those are our limitations. And I want to hear from you. What are your ideas for a no spend or a low buy or a low spend, or I'm trying to remember the other terms. Consume less, I guess, is the other movement that I've seen a lot. So I would love to hear from you what your restraints are on yourselves. And if you, like all of us, are feeling the economic pressures, what are some things that you have done to help limit your spending? Because I would love to hear that. Like I said, not a lot of people have that bottle/can deposit, so maybe you don't know about it. And maybe you are in a state that you do know that you do have those deposits, but you didn't know that you were doing those. So I just want to do some information sharing to help people when it comes to their purchases, because things are expensive. So that's what I've got. That's what my low spend is. And I would love to hear if you are doing it and what your ideas are. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.